What's up, everybody? It's Old Man Keefe on a Friday night with another GhostCodeMag.com weekly ritual news show, your one-stop shop for rock and metal news all over the web. The best experience for this show is always YouTube, but also we're on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, hanging out on the tick of the talk down here. Thanks for being here. You could spend your time anywhere. You might be spending it with us. We appreciate you. It's been a busy week. Let me freaking tell you. March has come in like a lion, as usual, with the rock and metal news, not just a cliche about the weather. And I've had a week, man. I've been poked and prodded. I had a bunch of doctor's appointments this week. I'm trying to take care of myself. In case you missed it last week, I'm engaged. I'm getting married later this year, so I'm really excited. I'm trying to take care of all this. I did not maintain this temple properly for the first 53 years of my life. Maybe I can do better going forward. Let's pop open an ice-cold liquid death. Convicted Melon, still rocking the tall boys with agave nectar and not stevia. Delicioso. I love those. All right. As usual, we have a little deck to help us get started with the show. First, we start with the announcements. Let's do the damn thing. Hey, look at this fun little picture of me. If you know what this photo of me with paying homage and what I'm paying homage to, drop it in the comments. I may send you a free t-shirt just for shiggles. That's shits and giggles as one word, shiggles. Harold is here. Jay Chavez is here. What's up? What's up? Let's see if any of our people are joining yet on. I think the gram is a little slow to catch up. Let's see. And why so serious? All right. Looks like the gram's a little bit behind, but we'll see who is joining in. Okay. Time waits for no man. Her net liquid death. That's it. OG forever. Oh, Melissa, my fiance's in the chat. What's up? What's up? So with the announcements, we've got a few. I feel like I'm very washed out here. This light's very bright on me, but okay. Let's see. Every week we tell, hey, 1 ounce of weed is here. What's up? What's up? We tend to do a lot of minutiae, and I'm trying to change that around and just get the details out of the way. We are still giving away tickets if you're in the LA area, or you can get to LA in mid-May. You possibly could see what might be the very well last tour from Echo and the Bunnymen, playing all their hits, 45 years of hits, at the Greek Theater, the legendary Greek Theater in LA. I'd love to catch that tour. Don't know if it's possible, but gonna try. Gonna give it a try. Let's see who is on the gram. What's up, Yoda? Yachira Yoda, my high school buddy and metalhead. Great to see you, bro. Chrissy Fox is here. What's up? What's up? Great to see you all. Thanks, Ben. Congrats on your New York Times feature with your parents. I was so stoked I showed it to a bunch of people. Proud of you. And looking forward to more art and music from you in the future. Also, I'm not going to do an extensive section on this today, but just for a second, I'm going to talk about this. Joseph Satter, who is the co-founder of the Middle East nightclub in Boston. This is a seminal punk rock and metal club. And other kinds of music too. He operated multiple venues at the Place in Cambridge, and just an epicenter of art and music, and also Middle Eastern food. They opened the Sonia when TT Bears closed. So just sad that he passed away. He had been back up north after moving to Florida. He had visited back north a few months back, and I guess some people saw him. And just so sad. I have so many fond and wonderful memories of the Middle East, including some fundraiser shows. I saw Ghost there for the first time on their first American tour. So many great punk bands at all the different places there, upstairs and down. And just super sad. We're not going to do a huge section this week on all this stuff, but I'll try to bring it back next week proper. And also Jeff of the band Liars. I don't know if the instrument Liars. sort of a garage rock band, and also his earlier 80s garage rock, Punk, The Liars, and then DMZ, which was sort of his earlier group, had been diagnosed with bladder cancer and is undergoing chemo. He's already $10,000 in the hole in debt and raised money through a GoFundMe, which we will link in the description after. I should have linked it in the description before, but you know, all these things are a work in progress, my dog. Here, I just dropped it in the that's me clacking, one of my least favorite fucking exercises, but here we are. But I wanted to make sure I shared that, and we did the Neill Jameson GoFundMe for his wife and daughter in the last few weeks. Also, I'm going to drop the tip menu if you're feeling tipsy, not my regular real ones, not anybody on staff, but if you're feeling tipsy and you want to drop us a tip, I'm grateful. We do get some money from advertising, not a whole lot. Some, I do believe that's going to be changing in the future, but still, just like being in a band, running an independent music journalism enterprise is basically just like a band, a struggle. Well, we are building a community here. I'm a real big believer in the power of the free press, and a lot of stuff that's out there is just trash, like a lot of trash information. And I have an interesting one to talk about, but like you see them popping up constantly. If a social media or a website doesn't look like it really covers rock and metal, don't go there, just like don't believe what they have to say. So, but yeah. All right. Again, if you're feeling tipsy, we appreciate it. If not, we understand. Righty, that's our Cash App in case you're curious. Now it's time to talk about the features. I'll put myself, embiggen myself again. It's me again. There we go. That's a better view. Looking in view. All right. So on with the features, brand new interviews this week on our YouTube and podcast. I talked to Joe Nolly of Earn. Earn's brand new album is out now via Spine Farm Records. You know that Earn are kind of the proteges of Gojira. Joe Duplantier is on their record. He produced their last record. And, I just feel really fortunate to have that mutual respect and friendship going with some of these bands. So we're not close friends, but when we get to talking about music, it's like talking to an old friend, and it feels real good. Also this week, a brand new interview with Baka of Necrofire. Baka is his black metal name. Christian Larson of the band Necrofire. New album out now on Metal Blade Records. Incredible. One of the best black metal albums of the early year so far, along with a few others that I'm fond of. Great interview. He also books the Hell's Heroes Festival, which is coming up next weekend, or the weekend after next, excuse me. And we'll be talking more about that festival next week and during this week. But check out my interview with Christian one more time. Also, just recently, we interviewed Warren Haynes. You know him best from Government Mule and the Allman Brothers. He's got a reimagining of his debut solo album out now, and our own Don DeLamont talked to him. Don is also my co-host at Glacial Musical Podcast. Don has his own show here on YouTube and podcast called Talking the Talk with Don, and his own blog, Southeast of Heaven. So, yeah, really fantastic stuff. So, all right. Noah Vilhan is here. Harold is here. Good to see you. Again, Father of Butterbear is here. Liquid Being is here. Liquid Being. Yeah, man, Yoda, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. It's always great to see you pop up in my feeds and DMs. So Warren Haynes interview, that's pretty major for us on our podcast. We have some more exclusive stuff coming to our podcast. I did a live stream last night where Wednesday night where I broke down Louder Than Life and Aftershock. Louder Than Life lineup probably a little bit better and unexpectedly great. Aftershock a little mixed. If you're a diehard hardcore metal person, it's probably not for you as much as it used to be. It's a lot of metalcore and Gen Z bands, but I think you have to have those Gen Z and younger bands to sort of bolster the older scene, because let's face it, man, a lot of us are not going out there for a 4-day festival. And we're covering Sick New World in April, and I've been hearing some rumblings that people aren't happy about it, and maybe these other festivals have come out and they're cheaper for more, the same price for more days. But like, I have to say, as an attendee of Sick New World, it was fantastic. I know Vegas is really hard to be affordable right now. We're going to talk about Vegas and the whole Metallica of everything, but really, I think Sick New World is a tremendous show and has things other things don't have. So we do live streams all the time. Last week, I reviewed the brand new Rob Zombie album. Surprisingly excellent. I was very surprised. This is going to be the first Rob Zombie album in a long time I listened to well after it came out. And next week, I'll be we will have on our website a full review of the new Lamb of God. I will have a Lamb of God video up Monday or Tuesday. I'm hoping for Monday. And I do have a lot going on Monday. And what's up again, Harold? Thanks for being here. Huggy Bear is here. I always say this show is your show also. Just like I say at every interview, this is your interview also. So, feel free if you got questions about what's going on in the world of music. I may be able to answer some of them. But I'm going to try to do at least one live stream next week, at least the Lamb of God review, if not a few more. There's quite a bunch of stuff going on. Record Store Day is coming soon. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced their thing. So we'll talk all about that. Also did Metallica at the Sphere, and it is wild. And I asked the question, can you afford it? And the answer is probably not. Probably not. But we'll find out. We'll find out. We also have a podcast. This show will be a podcast. Check out my brand. Oh, thanks so much, Harold, for sharing the live. I appreciate you. This show is a podcast. Check out the brand new podcast logo, sort of refashioned by my co-owner, Omar Cordy. And we have podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts. And because I don't have enough to do, I am the co-host of the Glacially Musical Podcast, Beer, Metal, and Swearing. We started a new series last week on Megadeth. Our new episode is out now, reviewing, deep dive review of Peace Sells and Who's Buying. Does it still hold up? Is it still as great as it was back then? Is 1986 the best year ever in metal? It's possible. We talk about all the things. We have a chaser next week. We usually do the series, the drink, and then the chaser. And the chaser next week is going to be on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on that show. But I may do my own pod on it as well because I have many thoughts. Okay. Now it's time for the news rundown. And as usual, we start the news rundown. We talk about metal festivals. Let's talk about festivals. Ozfest is definitely coming back, according to Sharon Osbourne. She has said now, confirmed, Ozfest will have at least 2 shows in Birmingham, England, followed by a multiple-date U.S. run. Now, I think their plan is to look at what Warped Tour did when they came back. Started with 3. Now it's going to 5 or 6. Next year, maybe 8 to 10, and just build it that way instead of a full tour. Make it a little more regional focused. I think you could see more UK and European bands in Europe. It's very expensive to come over here. But clearly the Ozfest would be, a huge comeback if it does. I went to many of the Ozfests and I love them. Mayhem Fest was occasionally touching the greatness of Ozfest, had its moments when it was great. I wasn't 100% thrilled with the Mayhem Fest that we had in 24. Did not come back for 25, or was supposed to rebrand as Miss Mayhem Fest, and then I never heard about it. Maybe it'll happen for next year. They took a year off. But Ozfest is coming back. What do you think? Ozfest gave us so many things. Battle for Oz. Because we got Ozfest, we got the Osbournes. We would not have had one without the other. So, always remember that. Aftershock, as I mentioned, announced their lineup. My Chemical Romance, Limp Bizkit pierced the veil for the first time ever headlining an American festival. And Tool are your headliners, along with Offspring, Suicide Boys, A Day to Remember, and Queens of the Stone Age, who have a brief tour coming up soon. Excited about them. Otherwise, maybe not as strong a lineup. 2 years ago, they had Pantera and Slayer and Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. I had to miss that one due to illness. That sucked, but do tell. Maybe it's going to Rocklahoma, Slayer headlining. Harold, that rules. We did talk about Rocklahoma last week. I think it may still be in the deck here today. And I believe we'll get some more tour dates from Slayer, either festivals that pop up or they're going to do like that test run in Pennsylvania, that one-day Slayer concert. I think you could see that happening in a few places. Maybe Slayer get their own festival. But Rocklahoma looks pretty damn good. So, absolutely, absolutely a doable thing. Planet Rock and Roll is here. What's up? What's up? Yeah, Rocklahoma looks good. We did that last week. Okay, also 2,000 Trees in the UK. Pre-day with Pup and Sprints. Alkaline Trio, Funeral for a Friend, and Neck Deep. It's usually more punk rock and post-metal, metalcore and, post-hardcore, but kind of a good-looking lineup. I love seeing Mariachi El Bronx and the Bronx there. Sunny Day Real Estate comeback is legit. Mallory Knox, Glassjaw, High Vis, Marmosets, great bands all. Outside Lands, not a real big thing for me personally, but fun to see Turnstile be one of the headliners of Outside Lands here in the Bay Area with a handful of artists I know and a majority of artists I do not know anything about. So some of these bands, The Strokes, fine, Charlie XCX, fine if you like pop music. Empire of the Sun, Labyrinth. So pretty interesting. Geese is blowing up a lot. So we'll see. We shall see. This looks cool. The Mountain Music Festival. I had a bunch of jokes ready for this. So the Mountain Music Festival, Bret Michaels, 38 Special, Night Ranger, Sebastian Bach, Warrant, Jackal, Lita Ford, Lynch Mob, John Waite, and Vixen, along with White Lion, Dangerous Toys, and a bunch of others. Definitely divorced dad energy for the Mountain Music Festival, which I believe is in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Gatlinburg. I believe the Gatlin gun comes from there. Also in the festival news, Shamrock Slaughterfest with a bunch of illegible bands except for Sanguisa Gabog and Incantation. Definitely incel neckbeard energy for this festival, but it still looks cool. Not necessarily another festival I would go to, but one in also similar to Outside Lands in my backyard, Petaluma Music Festival, keeping music in schools. So this is tied to the school districts here in California. 10,000 Maniacs, The Smithereens, Chuck Prophet and the Mission Express, Alejandro Escobedo, Cherry Poppin' Daddies, Spike Sykes and his awesome hotcakes, Van Goat, and others. This is definitely people trying to relive hippies trying to relive the 90s and 80s. A lot of hacky sack energy here, a lot of vegan and tofu energy for the Petaluma Music Festival, but I did love the Smithereens in high school, and I always liked 10,000 Maniacs, and their Unplugged is particularly great because they covered Patti Smith, who's the greatest. Warped Tour continues to add more bands. Like I said, once this Warped Tour is done rolling out their lineup, which always is subject to change, I will do a big breakdown on the whole Warped Tour, all the dates, all the bands. But we're just not there yet. Dillinger has arrived, just like Seven Dust has arrived. Dillinger, we missed you last week when I was talking about the Greg and Better Lovers split. If you've got any inside track on who you would like to see or who you think will be the new singer, it will not be Keith Buckley. But I don't know who could do the job because Greg is a singular talent, and I don't know that anybody can sing or scream as well as him. That Patty cover, that's right, Melissa. But yes, thanks for being here, Dillinger. I appreciate you. Hope it's not too late where you are. I'm going on at this unusual time. You got the new Tail Gunner, good album, good band. We were trying to interview that band because they're on Napalm Records, a label we like a lot. And I think it didn't work out, but I wouldn't rule out that we will still get into them. I like Tail Gunner has energy that kind of reminds me of Enforcer from Sweden or Lost Society from Finland, like up and coming heavy metal, crossover thrash, and heavy metal loving dudes. So I'm always down with that. People texting me. All right. But yeah, Warped Tour, more news to come. Also, again, I am confirmed to be going to the Mojave Experience Going to be joined by my homeboy and Ghost Cult co-conspirator cultist, Wayne Edwards. He's done a lot of stuff for us. Milwaukee Metal Fest, Psycho Las Vegas we did together, or at least we were both attending. So I'll be at this. I'm really stoked. I've never been to Joshua Tree. I am flying into Ontario, California. We're going to drive out together. We're going to drive back together. So I'm going to have a little adventure, hoping to go to Milwaukee Metal Fest. Also, I had mentioned that. That's coming up in a few slides. Also, here's Milwaukee Metal Fest, Acid Bath, Killswitch Engage Ministry, Obituary, Suicidal, Machine Head, Napalm Death. It's like all my favorite bands. Death Angel playing All of Act 3, Violence, Pallbearer. Looks really cool. Nails. And we were bringing you news the last few weeks about the Punk in the Park touring festival and bands dropping off because they didn't like the politics of the founder of the fest. And now all the bands had dropped off and they canceled the tour. So I think they can pull off the Punk in the Parks when they're standalone little fests. I think the idea of this touring thing is it's very unpopular. I mean, I don't know if it's fair or not. If somebody was very liberal and you didn't like their stance on things, you might not want to deal with them. You know, I can understand it. I really do. But here we are. Also, Youngblood has his own festival, and I know some people were like, who are these bands? Youngblood has his 3rd annual Bloodfest in Czechia, former Czech Republic. It's now called Czechia. Youngblood, Biffy Clyro, much bigger in Europe than here, but great band. A festival and arena headliner in Europe, especially England, and just not known here in America. Primal Scream, great band from about 30 years ago, still kicking it. Palais Royale, I mean, they've been around 10 plus years, great band. And then some more underground bands, Destroy Lonely, Leap, Pale Waves, Jesse to Stark, Bambi Thug we know about, and Niv Ella and Pam Rabbit, I can't tell with this font. But anyway, this is coming up this summer. Youngblood is just riding a wave of success, whether you dig it or not, whether you like him or not. He is getting co-signed by everybody. All right, that was all the festivals. Now it's time to talk about the rest of it, the concerts and one-offs. Man, Metallica. I went on a complete tirade about this if you go listen to this week's Glacially Musical podcast. Look, man, I love Metallica. I've seen Metallica more than any other band ever. And the real cold, hard reality is they, according to Consequence of Sound, the entire Sphere run is now sold out, even though the pre-sales were not all over. There was definitely supposed to be ticket on sales this week and next week. They're all sold out. They've sold out 20 of these. They only had 20-something shows booked this whole year until the Sphere was announced. So I get it. It's extremely lucrative. They're going to make a bundle of money. When Metallica doesn't have to move from city to city to city, it's super, cost effective for them because they have multiple sets of stages and rigs on call, and they can have just one crew. They can fly in and out every weekend. They're taking off most of November and December, just a couple of shows each month, probably family time, hopefully to write some new music. But, I'm just very disappointed, not surprised, because it's a business. It's the music business, man. It's not the music friendship. Metallica's given me so much, and they asked for very little from me. But I would say that I'm very disappointed that they didn't at least make it remotely affordable for the average fan. And honestly, their fan base is not so economically, you could make a case that Metallica's fans are younger and therefore not as economically stable as, let's say, Dead fans who've been doing this for decades, where they follow the band out. Dead sold out every show at about 1/3 the cost or 1/4 the cost. I do know some people who got in, luckily managed to get cheap tickets for this, but for the most part, they were $1,000 a ticket for the worst seats. So I just don't know. I do know the Sphere did a thing. I don't know if it's still applicable because the tickets are gone. But they had a thing where, hey, Trust Martos is here. What's up again? Thanks for being here, pal. There was a thing with the Sphere where if you bought their package ticket for the year, calendar year, you could go to one show of everything at the Sphere. So that's kind of cool for $2,600. If you live in Vegas or California, you go to Vegas a lot, maybe it'd be worthwhile. But right this second, I've resigned myself that I'm not going to get to go. And I'm not sour grapes. I'm just pissed and disappointed that they didn't really consider the fans. We're in the one of the worst economic crises of all time. Recessions and depressions are I don't know how much you know. You want to lecture on finance during the Rock and Metal News Show, but recessions and depressions are usually graded later. But all indications are that we are sucking ass, and a war we didn't want isn't going to help. Soapbox over. Metallica at the Sphere. So lots of luck. I'm sure they'll find a way to put it out on DVD or Blu-ray or monetize it somehow or edit it and put those videos out on YouTube or wherever they do. Also, the second biggest news of the week somehow, Twisted Sister and Sebastian Bach are teaming up for Ford. No one saw this coming. No one saw this coming. Sebastian Bach and Twisted Sister. Dee Snider has basically stepped down from the band because of his health. It seemed pretty not great or pleasant or possibly acrimonious, and so I wish the best for Dee. This is a great photo of Dee taken by our own Omar Cordy. I just interviewed Baz for his solo stuff, and if he knew about it, he didn't let on because I kind of brought it up in his interview about Dee, who is a hero of his. He had a Twisted Sister patch on his high school battle jacket. And I think actually Baz will do a great job. He'll be professional. If the band can keep it together and do more, they will. Snow Angel is here. Manuel in 427 is here. Jack Cinco is here. Art, what up? The fools who purchased the Snake Pit tickets are about to get a real big shocker. The Sphere is an unconventional venue. Being in the nosebleeds gets the better deal. Good to know. Good to know. I've never been. Guns N' Roses announced tour dates. People always complain online, how come nobody ever plays my town? Well, Guns N' Roses, Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania, it's your turn. They have added dates for the current world tour about to kick off, and Guns N' Roses. Thanks for all the love, Harold. I appreciate you. You're awesome. They're about to add those dates. Airborne, former Ghost Cult interviewees and festival friends, are going to open. Airborne, if you love Bon Scott AC/DC, you will love Airborne with a little more heavy metal. Carissa Sage is here. What's up? What's up? Fairy Ring is here. We've been here before. Thanks for stopping by. This is a bit of a surprise. Killswitch Engage headline tour with Machine Head, Iron Reagan, and Havoc opening. So two surprises here. Machine Head has been doing kind of went back and started doing tours again, headline tours or co-headline tours. And then they were, went back and did a little bit of an evening with. And now they're going to open for Killswitch, which is interesting that they will be an opening band, but actually it might help them because it should be crossover between the fans. They did have a song together on Machine Head's record 2 records ago. So, it might actually be amazing. Iron Reagan then also headlining over, not headlining, but on the bill over Havoc, who have been around quite a long time. But I think there's a lot of excitement for the return of Iron Reagan. Municipal Waste on hiatus. Maybe writing a new record. I know Cannabis Corpse, another Municipal Waste side band, is sort of defunct now. And so Iron Reagan is back. So this is a fun tour. I would like to catch this. This is happening in late June. I'm moving around late June. There's a lot going on. We'll see. Gorillaz have the #1 song in most of the world this weekend, the #1 album, and they have just announced The Mountain, which is their new album, The Mountain Tour 2026, starting late fall, or in September, of the US and Canada. So North American tour. Not too shabby. Seven Dust, in addition to tour dates opening for Alter Bridge that just ended, have their own headline tour with Atreyu, Fire from the Gods, and American Adrenaline. Okay. Alrighty then. That's kicking off in about 5 weeks. Metalheads, Sasquatch is here. Daisy DeLeon is here. What up, what up? Black Asteroid, welcome back. Catwood, what's up? I owe you an email. The Extreme Metal Analyst is here. It's good to see people. I appreciate you all for stopping by. So good to see you all. Unearth, who just re-signed to Metal Blade Records, has announced some European summer tour. Metal Blade is the record label that put Unearth on out in the first place. The oncoming Storm is like one of the pinnacle records of the metalcore genre. And I'm hyped for them to come back and make a big comeback with that band. So it's kind of fun. I'm into it. And they have headline shows and festivals. Pallbearer's on tour right now. It's going through the end of May, or through the end of April, excuse me, with the death and black metal band Neill opening for them, playing all of their Foundations of Burden album in full, which is exciting. Hoping to catch that somewhere soon. And, again, like I said, I say this all the time to people. Like, you got to really, nobody is a casual metalhead. You got to love your bands. Go see your bands. I understand time. I got to really pick and choose my battles. It's really expensive. I don't know quite what to do. But, like, where am I, be judicious, man, but go see your favorite bands on tour, because I think, like, you're seeing a lot of tours get canceled. You're seeing bands drop off tours. You're seeing festivals canceled because there's just not a lot of there. This is Slow Mosa, by the way. They are doing their first headline tour of America ever. Great stoner doom band. New album out last year. Really killer. Fishbone is putting out the In Your Face 40-year anniversary album play tour, where they're going to do an album in full. All the opening bands on the tour over different legs have played on their new covers album, where people reinterpreted Fishbone songs, metal and punk interpretations of their music, which is rad. We had an interview with Angelo Moore last year, new Fishbone album out recently, Stockholm Syndrome, which came out last year. So they're just striking while the iron is hot. I'm really excited for them. And again, thanks and shout out to everybody watching. If you like and subscribe or give us a super thanks or a super chat, I will talk about whatever you want to. You can hijack the show if you tip us well. This is an interesting band. All the ex-members of Mushroom Head got together, and they're going to go play Mushroom Head songs on tour as the X Faces. And I thought this is hilarious. Super interesting. J-Man, Gravy, Pig Venus, just insane. Stitch. Des Rocks is a rock artist from New York City, and they are going on tour soon. Very exciting stuff. Mayhaps will cover the tour. Margarita Villa is here. Ashley is here. Chapina, what's up? All right. Witchcraft just saw this tour on the kickoff date on Tuesday at Bottom of the Hill, along with Early Moods and the local openers Psychic Hit, who I've raved about in the past. Witchcraft was wonderful. Their new EP comes out next week, and they were just marvelous. And I was home in my house by like 11 p.m. or before. It was fantastic. That's the energy I need. Also, I talked about this a little bit a few months ago. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, obviously 2 members defunct. Doesn't really matter. Carl Palmer still alive, still kicking ass on drums. An evening with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, or what passes for the music of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Carl is brilliant. One of the best drummers I've ever seen live. I haven't seen the band in about 35 years. Don't know if I would go again. If Yoichiro is still here, he might go. I wonder. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about going, but it's tempting. They are playing up here in the wine country. You have to be super nerdy to want to go. I don't know if my partner will want to go. A Monclock tour is coming soon. Stay tuned soon for my new interview with Brendan Small. Between me and Omar of Ghost Cult, we have interviewed Brendan Small about Galacticon and Death Clock and Metalocalypse and Army of the Doomstar and all these things. And Brendan is always super nice. He loves Ghost Cult. And I just feel very, he's really appreciative. It's a very good relationship. So Monomarth and Death Clock co-headlining with Castle Rat opening. So really killer. And I see Death Clock already booked for some festivals and stuff in the fall. So I think that means we will get more Death Clock tour dates in the fall. Here's Ultrasun, who had a new album out last year. They just dropped a killer new single, a video from that album, and they're putting out their series of EPs is going to be put out on vinyl soon, and they're coming on tour. They're actually playing tonight in Germany as I record this, so they have already played. But I'm a big fan. Check out this band if you like Vows and Adult and Youth Code and Kylan Mikla. They're on the same label as Kylan Mikla. Captain Slappy is here. Padilla Mandari is here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Yo, Monomorph, the most fun I've ever had in recent years. Rowing. That's right, man. Rowing. It's wild. How do you feel about bands with like no original members, Yochiro? How do you feel about it? You'd be a person to know. We both share a love of Def Leppard and Miss Steve Clark. A lot of bands are out there with no original members, man. Foreigner, no original members anymore. Just kind of out there touring, playing the music I want to play, and I want to know what love is, which I love some Foreigner songs, but yikes. Kitty is going on tour to celebrate 25 years of Kitty. You can get some commemorative re-releases of their albums now. I just love this. I'm just a po' boy and nobody loves me. He's just a po' boy from a po' family. I have to stop singing on these live streams because I'm getting demonetized. Am I going to see the Black Queen? TBD, my friend, TBD. It's hard. I know a lot of people who are getting literally turned inside out because of the Greg situation. And, you know, this is what happens when our heroes fail us. You know, I remember being a little kid in the 80s, a teenager, and my dad, I would get mad if, like, you know, lost a light there. I get mad if one of my heroes let me down. And, you know, my dad was like, you know, you shouldn't worship any of these bands. They're not your people, you know? They're not your people. You're just like artists and musicians. My mom took me to all these great jazz shows. Everybody was on fucking drugs, you know, and I didn't question it. I was just like, oh, that's what they're supposed to do is do drugs, you know? So, wacky shit. But anyway. All right, halfway through the show, I'll remove this for a minute. Halfway through the show, again, if you're feeling tipsy, feel free to tip us. I'm grateful and appreciative. Let's talk about some affiliate partners. I got some cool shit to show you today. So you guys know every week we talk about our affiliate partnership with Fable Beard. They also have a beauty brand, Fable Beauty. Check out these 2 beard oils. I'm using one right now. I smell great. My beard feels great. I never have itchies. I never have too much dander coming out of my beard. And I told you guys a few weeks ago, I got their seasonal sale, blowout sale. So they sent me a box. Let's see what I've got. If you sign up with our link in the description, you get $10 off your Fable Beard order. And we get free Fable Beard merch. So it works. But I've been using this stuff for a year. Here we go. There's a packing slip. Here's my little note card from them with a wax seal. It's like Game of Thrones. All the characters and all the scents and smells and stuff is based on Dungeons and Dragons and, you know, lore. So I got the Father Time Beard Balm with musky ambergris, earthy moss, coconut milk, and ripe apricot. I got the Father Time deodorant. This is a new scent I haven't tried yet. Musky, ambergris, earthy moss, again, Father Time, coconut milk, and apricot. Kind of seems cool. Also, I got the Flame Beard Butter. Here's a product I haven't tried before, and I'll tell you about it next week. Creamy sandalwood, rich musk, sparkling champagne, and honey drizzle. Had some champagne last Saturday at brunch or lunch. The Flame, I was interested. This was like their other. So the Flame also has a deodorant. So 2 deodorants, a beard balm, and a beard butter. And they just usually send free stuff or, you know, just cool personalized things to the, like, they get to know me like a role, like my character in you know, they get to know me like if I was playing Dungeons and Dragons and what my character is based on my profile. And, you know, you are the Fable Army. They have a subscription called the Fable Army. Valentine's Day card. These are fun. And here's, hey, what's up? All right. Every month they give away $500 in a box. It's just gently packing peanuts are like the glitter of the mailing world. I hate these fucking things. Oh, no. Let's see. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Here we go. When in doubt, find a receptacle. All right, here we go. Unboxing time. Here is Father Time, the Beard Balm. This stuff I love. Here's the first time I'll ever use the beard butter, the Flame. Very excited. And the 2 deodorants. Here is the Flame deodorant and Father Time. So I'm super pumped to start using these, especially the beard butter. And I smell great. I feel great. It makes me feel great. And I'm really excited about that. So check out our affiliate deal with Fable Beard. Also, other affiliate partners. Hey, Pissing Razors is here. What's up? What's up? Pete Willis of Reform Roadhouse from 91, but he's no longer in the business. That's so interesting. I did not know that. Is a spaceship landing? What is going on? We do have an airport nearby. Thank you, Kasperia Promotional Management, for passing by on the Book of Face. I appreciate you so much. So TBD on the Black Queen there, Dillinger. TBD. Also, if you're interested and you pass by our website at ghostcultmag.com, we have an affiliate deal where the advertising you see is from Lambgoat. Lambgoat's a much meaner version of Ghost Cult. The Lambgoat Media Network includes No Echo and Metal Insider and Lambgoat, of course, and us and others. Okay, what else? Also, my homie Craig Caruso of Caruso Apps has been keeping us alive and in business. I'm grateful for him. If you've got a website, I wouldn't get into business without him. Hosting services, app, SEO, socials, everything. And also StreamYard. If you're watching this anywhere except TikTok, sorry, you have been watching because of StreamYard. Check out our StreamYard link in the description and stream like we do. All right. Now it's back to the rest of the show. We're on all the socials. We're on all the things. And, hey, Kat, nice. Thank you. Nice to meet you. We're just doing some rock and metal news here. It's the midway point of the show, and I plug some things, and then I go on with the big news of the week. This week was the anniversary of the debut of X-Files, March the 3rd, 1993. Probably changed my whole life. My favorite show of all time. All the things. Tickles all the things. They predicted so much. Also, time for the news. Let's go. There's a report out, this was super interesting to me, that Gen Z is driving physical media sales for the first time ever. Sort of young, maybe they're in the gig economy, maybe they have a degree, maybe they have a decent income, but for whatever reason, they are buying physical CE and DVDs more than that segment of people, even more than records, which I love and I collect, but maybe I'm not those people. But anyway, I thought that was a super interesting factoid to kick things off with this week. OMG! Fugazi has finally teamed up with Discord to release their demos recorded with Steve Albini. We've seen a trend of this recently where Killing Joke put out their Steve Albini records, or someone who had the rights to them did if they didn't. But super interesting that came out. I didn't get a chance to listen to it today. Big Fugazi fan. I should check that out. Alrighty. This was also super interesting to me. Again, things come to me. People send me tips. If you got some tips, just email us at submissions@ghostcultmag.com or DM me. But people send me stuff all the time. This is really sad. 2 years ago, I saw what is now the final Godflesh tour of America ever. Apparently, Justin K. Broderick posted this week. He had been reluctant to post because he hates social media and the negativity that comes with it. He recently had a major operation he will recover from, but it needs a lot of care, and he's not going to be touring anymore, certainly not with Godflesh. That doesn't mean Godflesh is over. He qualified in a second post that he's going to continue to put out music and remixes and archival things and remasters and other projects, maybe even a brand new project, but he's probably not going to tour ever again. And he's certainly not going to tour with Godflesh. So that's a bummer. Also, this is really cool. Adam Steiner has a series of book author, and he wrote this series of books, including this one on Nick Cave's Songs of Love and Death. I love this illustration. I may be chatting with the author soon after I get a copy of the book to read. He's also got a 9 Inch Nails book out, so I'm all about it. Let's see. Also, this is Portrayal of Guilt has a new single out and a new album coming up, so you should check that out. That's pretty rad. Alan Robert of Life of Agony, one of my heroes on bass, has a brand new bass fuzz pedal. His bass playing is integral to the Life of Agony sound. He is one of their chief songwriters. I know they were just on tour in Europe, and they put out a live version of their amazing cover of Don't You Forget About Me from The Breakfast Club. Pretty badass. I love it. Also, Venom. There are 3 Venoms now. What's behind door number 1? Venom. What's behind door number 2? Other Venom. What's behind door number 3? Venom Inc., who just toured South America. Well, Venom with Kronos is back, and he has put his kind of long-running backup guy, has been many years in the making since 2018. New Venom single, new Venom album coming soon, new Venom visualizer. I thought was a very AI-looking thing, but, you know, it's cool. Oh, no way, Kat. When were you, are you a New York native? Because I am a New York native. I lived there for most of my life so far, but I now live in California. And I was just a little bit late to hardcore. I was more of a metal kid and a crossover thrash kid and a prog nerd, but I went to a bunch of foundational shows at CBGBs and matinees and things like that. Bond Street Cafe, SOBs, Wetlands, The Tunnel, Limelight, and then I played in metal bands and sort of metal-y hardcore bands. I miss it sometimes, but they say you can't go home again. This pisses me the fuck off. So here's things that are pissing me off this week. I've been talking a lot about AI, and I'm not one of these boomers, AI is going to ruin everything. I have seen the Terminator movies like 100 times, all of them, even the bad ones. So, Dillinger Chaos Theory. Okay. Is that your new name? So, yeah, man, this pisses me the fuck off. A few months back, I was talking about American Head Charge, right? As a band that's kind of fallen off the radar. You can't get their records anywhere. Only some of their music is on streaming. And Soft White Underbelly, the documentary series, did a feature on Cam, who was their lead singer. And, you know, he's fucked up on drugs and living in Skid Row homeless. It's terrible. But he is hopeful he can get his life back together. And then, nice, old school New York, word up. And then I saw in the new music radar bullshit on Spotify today, this song, Won't Break, under American Head Charge. This is some trap, mumble rap bullshit. And I was just so fucking incensed. And of course, Spotify doesn't have any way to report this shit or get them to stop. So, you know, I reported it as, you know, mislabeled, but that's the best you can do. They won't take it down, and nobody is looking after that band's interests. And this is happening. It happened with Nothing Face a couple of months ago. It was reversed. So fucking angry. I also, Kat, I also used to go to the Pyramid a lot and the Bank. Those are 2 of my favorite places ever. You know who doesn't suck and what doesn't suck is Raymond Watts of Pig. Pig is back with a new single today. We listened to it here at the HQ, and it was amazing. I'm all about it. Hopefully he will tour. Raymond is life. I need to interview him. He's on the bucket list. I've interviewed almost everybody I ever wanted to, but I haven't interviewed him. That would be a thrill. Oh, Tool. Sorry, man. Yeah, Tool are hinting at their residency in 27. I mean, as a Tool fan, I also know that Tool fans are the worst. I am not the worst. I'm awesome. But, like, I do understand that a lot of Tool fans are horrible and stupid. And Dream Theater fans laugh at Tool fans, and other fans laugh at Dream Theater, and, you know, slam, brutal death metal bands with a little bit of prog in them laugh at everybody. So I would, you know, we'll start saving now for Tool at the Sphere, but I feel like I said this on the podcast with the fellas this week on Glacial Musical, that I think Metallica has gone so overboard with the pricing for this that they have set the bar abnormally high now for every band, which it just sucks. It just sucks all my enjoyment out of it. Maybe I hype myself up. Nice work. Maybe I hype myself up too much. Maybe I hype myself up too much. I don't know. Nice work. Oh, excuse me. Whoa. I got a frog in my throat there. What else? What else? And so much stuff just coming at you like left and right. I think this week was also the anniversary of the first show ever Cliff played with Metallica. This is He Is Legend. They're putting out an anniversary vinyl. They've been touring a lot. I always felt like He Is Legend is right in between. Like they kind of want to be Down and COC, but they also want to be like Under Oath and Thursday. So there's a strange dichotomy of musics that they put out, but great band live. I know their singer had some health problems a while back, and it seems to be cleared up now. What else? So many things, all the things. Frozen Soul is putting out a new album. We need a Frozen Soul interview soon, I hope. Omar is pretty tight with some of the members of the band, having done some shows with them where they were opening for a band he was teching for. So we hope to get a Frozen Soul interview soon. Great brutal death metal band from Texas. And then in another, this is awesome. You know, I did not have talking about Kesha on my bucket list today. Thank you, Kesha. Kesha was made aware that a White House video promoting ICE on TikTok had been using the song TikTok and some of her other music. So she wrote, "Stop using my music, perverts," at White House. I mean, you know, Kesha doesn't need attention. She's got gajillions of streams. She's pretty great as far as a singing pop artist goes. It's come to my attention that the White House has used some of my songs on TikTok to incite violence and threaten war. Trying to make light of war is disgusting and inhumane. I absolutely do not approve of my music being used to promote violence of any kind. Love is always Trump's hate. Please stop using the word Trump for everything. Please love yourself and each other in times like this. The show of blatant disregard for human life and, quite frankly, the attack on all our nervous systems is the opposite of what I stand for. And so for that, Kesha, you are an honorary metalhead. Castle Heights was like my second home. I met Omar from Ghost Cult at Castle Heights. We played a show together. We didn't know each other personally. We knew each other from the scene. I played Castle Heights many times. I was at the next to last ever Castle Heights show. I saw Mastodon play Castle Heights before they signed to Relapse. I mean, I saw Hatebreed play there. Irate, Billy Club Sandwich, Go to Mentis, all the old school New York hardcore and metal bands, and Bronx deathcore. Before swoopy-haired Orange County deathcore was a thing, New York City had its own hardcore and death metal music called Bronx deathcore. And BDC was a great fucking time to be alive. And I had my thrash heavy metal band at the time, too. Love Castle Heights. Played CBGBs. I played Continental. I played Limelight. Wild shit. But Kesha, you are now an honorary metalhead. Lamb of God is 1 week away from putting out their new album, Into Oblivion. And I've already heard it. And I want to tell you something. Listen, get close, besties. You're not ready for how much this record kicks ass. Thank you. That's my secret for tonight. You are not ready for how hard this record goes. But I will save the rest for my review next week in our review with Ghost Cult Monday morning. But Lamb of God, new single video, a lot of stuff going on with them. Also, I mean, it's just all the things. Gatecreeper is going on tour. We know they don't over-tour too much because all their members are in different bands, but Gatecreeper, maybe they have a new record on the way. I know they put one, like, sort of surprise release records from time to time. So I believe they have a new record coming soon. Probably. Also, not a huge thing. Second home, I'm telling you. Second thing for me, maybe you know our co-owner there, Omar Cordy, OJ. He was the drummer in my band. We played in not rival bands, but sister bands, and then in the same band, and then we have this website. So who knows? Social Distortion announced a new single and thing. I know for a lot of punks, Social D is like a huge touchstone band. They're not for me. I have seen them live a bunch of times. I appreciate Mike and the career they've had as the OGs of California punk. But not a huge band for me, but some of you may be stoked. I think some of you will be stoked. Courtney Love posted a picture this week of her and Kristen Oftemar, who has her memoir coming out soon. We know that Courtney is working on her memoir, new whole album, and probably a tour. And Courtney says, Whole tour soon with Kristen, with Melissa, excuse me. And I'm so pumped because I love that lineup of Hole, and I will put Hole up against anybody. We have some feature stuff coming on Hole soon. I would love to interview Courtney. Justice for Courtney. And then I just love this little meme thing here. If metal is the devil's music, then he has a very good taste. So definitely. I like this little grinning goat. All right, it's time for New Music Friday. Let's listen to some New Music Friday that came out today. Let me know if there's any records that came out today you particularly were hyped for to listen to. I will find something that came out today and play something for you. I did get flagged pretty bad. Oh, this is cool. So before I read through the whole list, this is a cool band. Grave Mass. I don't know if you know who they are. I believe they're a black metal band. Let's see. Thanks for being patient. Grave Mass. All right. This is the way. Grave Mass. They put out their debut album. Let's see. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Woo! Heavy. So okay. Sort of a progressive black metal, death metal. I don't know if I love the counting in the chorus there, but this is the way. Oh, cool. This video was shot at Armstrong Metal Fest in 2025, where we are a media sponsor. That's pretty cool. A little bit of Grave Mass there for you. And all right, let's now read the list. Let's read the list. Pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. Very heavy. Very, very heavy. Very heavy. Why so heavy? So angry. So heavy. Oh, yeah. Melissa Oftemore at the Strand, March 17. Did I see Bruce when he played CBGBs in 97? 97 was like a very bad year for me, and I didn't go to many shows, and I don't remember much of 97. Maybe I saw Metallica. I saw Bruce on one of those solo tours, but I'm going to say it's the earlier one. Not Tattooed Millionaire, but the other one. But thanks for asking. All right, New Music Friday, music that came out today. Tell me which ones you are stoked about. Axe Dragger, self-titled on Ripple Music for some Stoner Doom. Ashken Azuzi Infernua on Argonauta Records, probably also some Stoner Doom. Bitter Branches, which is kind of like a hardcore supergroup. Let's Give the Land Back to the Animals on Equal Vision Records. Black Lung for some more stoner psychedelic rock. Forever Beyond on Magnetic Eye Records. Boss Dinage, probably my most excited for record today. Hidden Fires Burn the Hottest on the Flenser, Oakland record label, the Flenser. Clouds Taste Satanic, friend of the show, Berlin 2023, live album on Kinda Like Music, their own label. Kodag, Kingmaker, self-released. Dark Throne box set, The Fist in the Face of the God box set. I think it's like 6 vinyl LPs. I have most of the Dark Throne on LP. I think there's some demos. And obviously no live stuff because the band has barely ever played live. The Darts, Halloween Love Songs on Adrenaline Fix Records. Desert Collider, Generation Ship, Endless Drift Through Infinity, Small Stone Records. Desert Storm, Buried Under the Weight of Reason on Heavy Psych Sounds. Evil Born, The Ascension EP, self-released. Filth, the brutal hardcore band. I've interviewed them before. Hardcore, deathcore band, Welcome to Shelltown EP. Full House Brew Crew, Glasgow Grin on RPM Roar. Funeral Pyre Summoning. Again, that was Grave Mass. This is the Way, Endgame Records. Hibernaut and Face Pulp have a split release. That's cool. Leaves Eyes, the great progressive symphonic metal band Songs of Darkness EP, out on Reigning Phoenix Music, which I believe is their new label. Light Lauren, The Ebb and Flow of Galactic Ties on Rogue Plan Records. Lords of Salem, Supersonic Vampire Pussy on Echo Zone Records. Lost Society, fun band from Finland, I mentioned earlier. I've interviewed them before. Hell is a State of Mind, out on Nuclear Blast Records. Mega Colossus, Watch Out on Cruz del Sur Music. They might like Dio. Watch out. Look out. Let's see what else. Prong, Live and Uncleansed. Waiting for that to show up in the mail. Shout out to Tommy Prong. Nailed Shut from Mass. Promise Made, a Promise Kept EP for some punchy hardcore. More Destructor on Warhead Records for some metal. Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, X's for Eyes Deluxe Edition. That's their record from last year. Rainbow, The Temple of the King box set, 75 to 76. Maybe one for you, Yochiro. Rosa Fanskop for some skaldic folk music. Ingenen Forderbeater on Physics Format. The Set, which is the band that used to include the former member of Turnstile, Brady Ebert, Self-Evident Truth EP on Flatspot Records. You can just bet that most anything that comes out on Flatspot is the shit. Temple of Void, The Crawl on Relapse Records for some death metal. Void, Live 1982 on Outer Battery Records. And Vrade, my other favorite record of today, The Skies Turn Black on Indie Recordings. So that leaves us with one section in the show left, and it's usually what it is the mailbag. But I have a problem. I got a vinyl in the mail. I was really excited to show you all, and didn't bring anything out. I used to hang out with Metallica at the music building. Sick, you go all the way back. So I had gotten this record from Org Music, but not this record. I got a different record sent to me. So this is Together Pangea, the 10-year anniversary punk rock band. Looks really cool. I have to message the label why I got this. No, nothing, just the wrong record. The slip has the right record. So instead, since I don't have that, what I do have is, because Bottom of the Hill is closing at the end of this year, or at least being sold because the original owners don't want to own it anymore, the Parkside is also going out of business, and I'm very sad about this. So San Francisco is losing two of its awesome venues. They already lost Slim's. Here's a rad Bottom of the Hill shirt that I got with the dark blue Bottom of the Hill, sort of the royal blue with the dark blue. I like it, like their sign. And you can look for my review coming up soon of Witchcraft from Bottom of the Hill, and I hope to get back there soon. I did kind of try to sneak over to the Parkside and get a chicken sando, but that's it. I don't have my record to show you, so I don't have it. But I appreciate you all very much, and that's it. Usually for us, that's the show. Shout out to my fiance Melissa for taking that photo of me. Again, if you're watching, maybe you, Kat, or Dillinger understand the reference that photo of me is making. If you do, I'll send you a free shirt. DM me. You can stare longingly at the thumbnail later. And as we usually say at this juncture of the show, thanks for watching us. This is a very manageable 1 hour and 3 minutes. I really appreciate you all. You can spend your time anywhere, but you're spending it with us. We are trying to build a community for metalheads, legitimate news. Thanks for being part of this, Yochiro, and all my real ones. Dillinger, welcome, Kat. Anybody else that's new here, if you subscribe to us, I will subscribe and follow you back on all our things. So as we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and stay as metal as humanly possible. I am going to dance a jig like Detective Joe Hollenbeck on the way out. Peace and have a great weekend. Please don't drink and drive. Thanks, Harold. Thanks, Ace.